In this week's Torah portion, we learn about Avram's tremendous sense of hospitality and his desire to help all kinds of people. Let's take a look. Shalom, my friends. This is the Kiva Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. We know that Avram is the great-grandfather, so to speak, of the Jewish people, of the Jewish religion. He is the one who begins the journey of the Jewish people over 3,000 years ago by coming to the land of Israel, dedicating himself to serving God and to bringing God's message into this world. In this week's Torah portion, we learn right away that Avram was sitting at the Petach HaOhel, the entrance to his tent. Why was he sitting there? Because he was looking for guests. Why was he looking for guests? He pretty much all the time had guests. He was all about serving guests, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But he had just had his circumcision at a very, very old age, and it was still healing. And it was the third day since he had the circumcision, which is known to be the most painful day. So God wanted to help him out by making it be that nobody came by, no visitors came by, so that he can rest and he can heal properly. But Avram wouldn't have any of that, and he went out of his tent. And he was looking for visitors, for people that he can bring into his tent. He was sitting at the entrance of his tent so that he could take care of somebody. And that's when God made it be that three angels, looking like humans, came his way to talk to him about all kinds of very important things. Now, Avram was an ish chesed, as we say in Hebrew. He was a person who was all about doing kindness, about doing acts of kindness for other people. So much so that we learn that his tent had four entrances to it, one on each side. Now, it wasn't open. I mean, he had to have some protection and privacy, right? But he had an entrance, he had an entrance on every side of his tent so that people would be able to come from all the different directions and most easily come into his tent. And it was always welcoming people into his tent. What would he do? He'd bring them in, give them food, give them drink, let them rest, let them relax. And he would use that opportunity, not in a forceful way, in a very loving way, to talk about God, to talk about the oneness of God. And he was surrounded by people who were polytheists, who believed in multiple gods, who worshiped these multiple gods in all kinds of ways, sometimes very, very harsh and cruel ways, with different kinds of sacrifices. And he was all about spreading the message. And how did he spread his message? Through hospitality. His hospitality was a tool in order for him to really fulfill his mission and vision in this world, which was to be an advocate for God, so to speak, and to speak on God's behalf and to speak about God to people who just didn't know. Now remember, Avram came to the land of Israel, which was located on the natural land bridge between two of the most important, if not the most important, civilizations in the ancient world, Egypt and Mesopotamia. And people were traveling through this land all the time. So Avram placed himself, or was placed by God, in a very good place to put up his tent with the four entrances on four sides in order to offer his hospitality to all these different wayfarers, travelers, strangers, so that he can have an opportunity to speak to them about God, monotheism, and the oneness of God. And we see this very strongly in this week's Torah portion, where he goes out, even on the most painful day after circumcision, he goes out looking for guests because that's how much he wants to offer his hospitality to others. Another very strong thing that we see in this week's Torah portion about Avram is that one of these angels that came to visit Avram came to tell him about God's decision to overturn, to destroy Sodom. And when God told Abraham, right, God, it says in this week's Torah portion that God said, "How can I hide this from Abraham? I need to tell him." And so the angel came, told him, and Abraham goes into this whole kind of bargaining deal with God, trying to find merit for the city of Sodom, so that it won't be destroyed. Now, it's interesting. God decided that Sodom is so evil it needs to be destroyed. And Avram is going to argue with him. Avram is going to bargain with him, negotiate with him. And the negotiation, it starts with, well, maybe there's 50 righteous people in there. Would you destroy the city if there's 50 people? And God said no. So then Avram keeps going. Like, what if there's 45? And God says, no, I'll save the city if there's 45 righteous people. And Avram keeps going 40, 30, 20, all the way down to 10. Right? And so we see Avram's love for humanity. even though God already made the decision and God said this is what needs to happen, Avram wanted to try his best to try to find some kind of merit for the people there. And I think we can say on a deeper level, maybe God wanted Avram to look for merit. God wanted to see what would Avram say if he was told that this whole city was going to be destroyed. And this really illustrates Avram's great love for humanity, for others, even if they're on the wrong path, even if they're deserving of punishment, right? He wants to help them, wants to save them because he believes so deeply in their ability to correct their wrong ways. And so we see these two very beautiful and powerful attributes of Avram in this week's Torah portion. We should be inspired to bring them into our own lives as well and use, so to speak, Avram as a model for the way that we can live our own lives. All the best, my friends, and be well.